Hello, neighbor. Hello, neighbor. Hello, neighbor. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and what a beautiful day in my toy neighborhood. In today's video, we are going to be discussing movies that I can't believe have not been made yet. Me, personally, my favorite movies are dark fantasies, movies that take me away to another time, another land. Dark fantasies, you know, just always appeal to me. Movies like Legend, Lord of the Rings, Pan's Labyrinth, Return to Oz. I know some of those may not technically be dark fantasies, but you know, if they have a really cool fantasy land, they have wickedly cool evil characters. Yup. I find these darker fantasy movies to be all the more creative, all the more whimsical, and they have some great realistic raw action, you know, dark and gritty. I'll probably say that about 10 times at least during this video. So now that you know what my favorite kind of movies are, you may not be surprised at my choices of movies that I can't believe have not been made yet. And all the movies that I do suggest, I would like them to be made in this, you know, scheme of dark fantasy, dark and gritty. Oh, there's that phrase again. Cause I don't know about you, but I'm pretty tired of those superhero comedy movies and them Disney reboots. So at the end, in the comments down below, please let me know, out of all my movie suggestions, what you would like to see most turned into a movie yourself. Or if you have any other suggestions of movies that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments down below. So here we go. Number 1. Live-action Thundercats movie. This movie was happening, then it wasn't happening, then it was happening, and now it's not happening. Thundercats was an animated series running from 1985 to 1989 with a total of 130 episodes. We follow a group of cat-like aliens forced to leave their home planet and make their way to a new planet called Third Earth. There, the Thundercats are at a constant battle between the evil undead sorcerer Mum-Ra and his band of mutants. I think this movie has a lot of potential with alien landscapes like the planet of Plundar, home of the mutants, interesting characters, creatures, and probably one of the scariest cartoon villains ever. Think Avatar meets Ninja Turtles, and nothing beats good old-fashioned special effects, makeup, and suits. Let's give the Thundercats some realism, not this stuff. But hey, at least maybe the new Cats movie could spark some interest in a Thundercats movie. This movie also has a lot of crossover potential with the new upcoming He-Man reboot set for 2021, starring Noah Centineo. With the successful comic crossover between the two already on paper, bringing it to the big screen wouldn't be too far-fetched. Number 2. Penguin origin story. The Penguin is still one of my all-time favorite Batman villains. The Penguin was thrust into the spotlight in Tim Burton's 1992 Batman Returns, starring Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
That Batman will be present to preserve the peace.
I believe this movie is very underrated, and within this movie is one of the most underrated characters, the Penguin. Most versions of the Penguin set him apart from other Batman villains with his surprising sanity and aristocratic sophistication, dubbing himself a gentleman of crime.
The most fantastical gimmick in my whole criminal career.
But Danny DeVito's brilliant dark portrayal of the Penguin in 1992 presented him as a grotesque, sadistic, deformed madman who haunted our dreams at night. Although shown to be thrown into the water as a baby in Batman Returns, it's said that Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot was born into a privileged family that was in constant rivalry with the Wayne family for control of Gotham City. He was ruthlessly teased growing up for his appearance and dubbed the Penguin, as well as forced to carry an umbrella by his overprotective mother after his father died of pneumonia from a downpour. Instead of going to school, he spent more time on the streets, where he was appreciated for his skills in criminal leadership. Here he became a criminal genius with a knack for organization, interest in ornithology, underworld connections, deep pockets to fund criminal activity, and known for his deadly trick umbrellas. Number 3. Spawn Reboot. Many have dubbed the 1997 Spawn movie starring Michael Jai White to be forgettable, corny, one-dimensional, and oddly unscary with too much talking. Based on the bloody and clearly R-rated comics by Todd McFarlane, we follow Al Simmons, a government assassin who is killed off after being double-crossed by his boss. After arriving in the depths of hell, Simmons is offered an opportunity to return to Earth if he's willing to lead an evil army. He of course accepts this proposal and is thus reincarnated as a Hellspawn. Unfortunately, he turns into a horribly disfigured being of his former self, but at least he gets to wear a wicked cool sentient suit to hide everything up. But to the dismay of the devil's henchman, Blue Clown Man, Spawn actually serves as a force of good than evil. Given a PG-13 rating for some insane reason, the story was watered down drastically, and the hard R rating that Spawn was known for was awkwardly not present. Not to mention, the effects, while maybe appealing back then, haven't really aged that well at all. With new advancements in technology, I think they could really bring this movie into the new age. But please, can we make it dark and gritty with that hard R rating? And I mean hard R rating. Apparently, there is a new Spawn movie in the works directed by Todd McFarlane, an R-rated supernatural horror film. Number 4. The Female Predator. We see woman power as a very prevalent theme these days in movies. Female spies, female superheroes, female this, but how about a female this? Okay, so she's not technically a real predator or yautja as they are called, but this chick Machiko Noguchi has a really cool backstory into how she came to live amongst the yautja. I actually did a full video on this awesome story that you can definitely go check out because it's super interesting. There are stories of actual female yautja, stories of other humans, but Machiko's story is definitely movie worthy. As a young girl living in Japan, Machiko's father committed ritual suicide and she was forced to harden herself and adapt to her new world. She became a master in martial arts, firearms, and other weapons, and later landed a job at the Chigusa Corporation at a ranching colony. The colony is then caught between a visiting group of yautja hunting xenomorphs, and Machiko's story takes off from there after saving a high-ranking yautja and being marked before his death. Awaiting the return of his people once more, her mark tells it all, and she is given a rare look into yautja life. There is so much to this story, with Machiko's struggle within the yautja clan, being at war with the xenomorphs, betrayal, other yautja tribes, struggling with her own identity as a human, and much more. This is a perfect movie. Someone please make it! Number 5. The Legend of Drizzt. Some people say Drizzt, some people say Drizzt. I like to say Drizzt. The Legend of Drizzt stems from a series of books by R.A. Salvatore based in the Forgotten Realms setting in the Dungeons & Dragons universe. Drizzt is a badass drow, or dark elf, with an onyx figure of a black panther. This figurine can be summoned to summon a real black panther that serves as Drizzt's ranger animal companion. But unlike other dark elves, Drizzt does not share his violent racist traits of violence and hatred. Instead, he seeks peace and friendship in these unforgiving times, with his love interest and human friend Catti Bree and dwarven companion Brunor. Drizzt is a skilled fighter who sticks to his moral code while looking for acceptance and friendship among groups who time and time again shun him, but is all the while weary of the danger his presence brings to those that he befriends. With all sorts of races, landscapes, and interesting characters, the Dungeons & Dragons realm has really got the short end of the stick when it comes to movies. The realm has been thrown a handful of low-budget movies, but that's about it, and I think that The Legend of Drizzt would be a perfect and deadly addition to Jurassic Park. I mean, the dark fantasy genre. Number 6. Bravestarr the Movie. Cowboys and aliens. Pretty weird concept, but the movie was very nicely executed. I feel like some of the awkwardness could have been overlooked if the cowboys were already living in the futuristic time where aliens and advanced technology actually existed together. Crazy cool guns and gadgetry with aliens walking around like it's nobody's business. Enter Marshall Bravestarr. Bravestarr was an American space western series running for only one season from 1987 to 1988 with a total of 65 episodes. Bravestarr was a combination of science fiction, space, and a western genre cartoon set in the 23rd century on a multicultural desert planet called New Texas. We follow Native American Marshall Bravestarr as he enters the rough planet of New Texas, trying to bring order to the land. He has special abilities like the sight of a hawk, the strength of a bear, the hearing of a wolf, and the speed of a puma to aid in his fight against riffraff. I just think this would be a really neat concept, kind of like Star Wars meets Guardians of the Galaxy, with some western in there. Number 7. Hades and Persephone. How this story hasn't been turned into a multi-million-dollar blockbuster romance beats me. We are talking Titanic-level romance here, people. Persephone was the daughter of Demeter, goddess of harvest and fertility. One day, Hades, god of the dead, came up from the underworld and saw the beautiful Persephone and fell in love with her instantly. After asking Persephone's mother Demeter for her daughter's hand in marriage, he was denied, time and time again. So one day he decided to kidnap Persephone. She fell through the earth and into Hades' domain, and there she later ate a pomegranate fruit from the underworld, preventing Zeus and Demeter from rescuing Persephone. While Persephone was down in the underworld, her mother Demeter was sad and angry. So, being the goddess of fertility and the harvest, the lands were bare, infertile, and cold, bringing winter. But Hades later came to an agreement that his new wife, queen of the underworld, could live half of the year above ground with her mother. And when Persephone came above to her mother was happy once again, and the lands became fertile. Ah, springtime. So essentially, this was the Greek legend for the explanation of the seasons. Number 8. A Street Sharks movie. Okay, hear me out. I'm talking huge mutant sharks and other animals. Bounty hunters, thugs, gangsters, warlords, sex, drugs, alcohol, and swearing. Look at this. I know this is King Shark from The Flash, but make this happen. The Street Sharks was an American-Canadian series airing from 1994 to 1997 for 3 seasons following the adventures of a group of crime-fighting half-men, half-shark guys. 4 brothers were transformed into sharks by an evil university professor who created a machine called the Gene Slammer, which could combine aquatic DNA with other types into hybrids. Picture these 4 giant sharkmen walking into a strip joint with mutant animals dancing on poles in bikinis while trying to locate a crocodile mutant snitch to get the location of an anglerfish mob boss. I'm telling ya, this movie's got potential. And number 9, Dark Souls, the movie.
I think I just had a stroke. I am so sick of this shit! No, 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 no!
Although this game may be a bit frustrating, I feel like taking Tom Cruise's Edge of Tomorrow movie and translating it into a medieval time period, which could be the breath of fresh air the Dark Souls franchise needs. I know there's not much dialogue, and maybe it's not the best adaptation to make into a movie, but maybe we can make a great plot, you know, maybe there are certain souls our chosen undead needs to collect from sadistic beasts and ruthless rulers. The concept of dying and coming back to life to improve upon one's death each time, all the while collecting souls, could make for an interesting plot. If they could recapture those thrilling fright factors and jump scares that you feel playing this at 2 a.m. in the morning with the lights out and a black knight jumps right out in front of you, I think this could actually make for a really, really neat movie. So that is my list, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it, and please let me know your number 1 pick from my suggestions in the comments down below, and if you have any yourselves, let me know! So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I come with new videos every week. Come check me out on social media and help support the channel on Patreon. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay legendary.